This is a very radical change. So, today I met up with my psychiatrist, because your girl needs meds. Um, but it was interesting because this is something that I think a lot about, but especially often, especially like right now, I've been thinking about my future a lot. Cause right now I'm in a pretty crappy place, physically. I'm in a city that I do not like, surrounded by people that I don't really like either, mostly hate, but even the ones that I like the most are like people that I can't see myself becoming like lifelong friends with. Basically just surviving until I graduate and I can just like go off wherever I want. And I kind of have this tendency of, I've been in bad places before. And what helps me is usually just thinking about going far, far away. You know, before I moved to the US, I would spend all of my days just planning how my dorm room was gonna be and doing all of that and just like imagining and just like, yeah, having all these thoughts. And it kind of keeps me motivated, I suppose. But this is different because it speaks way more to the people that I'm surrounded with, more so than, you know, like, oh, I'm getting bullied or whatever, like it was in middle school. Because I've talked before here how I feel like I can't have a productive a deep and, you know, purposeful conversation with anybody my age anymore. And I was telling my therapist that, and that it was kind of driving me insane because I felt so out of place. I felt like I didn't belong here, but I also, when I lived in Brazil, I felt like I didn't belong in Brazil. So it was kind of crazy. And he told me that, like, you know, he went to one of the universities that I'm applying to, and he started telling me about it, and he's like, look, Gutter, you're gonna meet so many people, and this is something my mom also tells me of, like, when you go to college, you can meet anyone. Like, in school, you're basically just bound by social status and geography, because it's like families that live in the same place. But like in university, you meet people of like multiple ages, multiple walks of life, multiple whatever. So I feel like that definitely like broadens your opportunity. And also being an adult changes so much because, oh, I didn't find anybody cool at my school. Okay, just go out in the city. You can do that now. And that excites me so much because I feel like people see me as an introvert, but it's because I don't like dealing with the people around me. I don't like the conversations that I have to engage in every day. And so I kind of just deflect. But when I go back to Brazil and I hang out with like my older sister and her friends and my older cousins and even like my mom's coworkers and, you know, my coworkers in my internship, I'm a chatterbox. I'm a big yapper, like I am here. I'm a very bubbly person, and I feel like that just doesn't translate well, both because, you know, English is, you like it or not, my second language. I'll never be as eloquent with English as I am in Portuguese, but also just because I have more access to people that are older, and I just have access to people with that kind of repertoire that is very lacking in American people that aren't pretentious like me. I'm so pretentious. And so I feel like going to college is going to save me. It's just being present in the moment that is a very big issue for me. Because I'm like, how can I wait 5 months until I graduate? when I feel like I'm barely surviving. I feel like I'm going insane every day. I go to school and I see my ex, and I'm like, I want to run away, far away, and I see all these people that I hate, and I feel like that one South Park audio that's like, everybody just sucks so hard, you know? And everybody's just walking around like, da, 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 and that's how I feel. And I feel terrible for feeling that way, because I know that the people that I'm surrounded with are very smart. They are smarter than me in a lot of ways. And I feel like a bad person for whenever I'm speaking to some people at my school, in the back of my mind, it's just like, oh my God, this person is so insufferable. I feel bad for feeling that. I feel like a bad person for thinking that I am so different from everybody around here. Even though the adults that I talk to, such as my psychiatrist and my mom, they say like, no, you're very out of place. Like, yeah, no, that's kind of true. But you know, I kind of get confused. I have older friends. Mostly my online friends are all older than me, I think. They're all like 19, 20, early 20s. And I love them. I love them so much. Shout out my online friends. Shout out my European baddies that I have met through the internet. And because it's like something that genuinely connects you to people. Like, I met those friends through fandom, and it's just like, it feels like so much more genuine connection with these people, because you have something you actually share on a very personal level. Me and my friends, we have lunch together every single day, and it's like a big table of like 9-ish people. And yet, there's very little things that are common across all of us, if at all. We can talk about the same things, you know, I can like do that thing where you're in a big group and you just turn to like 2 people on your side and you just like form these inner groups. But even then, I don't feel like I connect with these people. I go home or I go on vacation and I don't really feel like talking to these people, because it's like the only thing that we really talk about is like things that happen in our school. Gossip, basically. So, am I a bad person for thinking that everybody kind of sucks now? Perhaps. But I want to be in a big city where I can meet a lot of people and go to book clubs. I'm planning on going to Europe, hopefully, because I have citizenship, so I can study there for cheaper than in the US. And I want to meet a lot of people, and I want to be able to have these people that I have these meaningful conversations with, and people that understand me, and people that are there for me like I am for them. I don't want to talk to my aunt about another friendship of mine ending and her going like, oh yeah, that person wasn't really as mature as you. I don't want that to happen anymore. I don't want people to keep being immature and like not talking about their issues directly. Like, I hate when people do that, when people like, when you do something wrong but you don't realize it and that person just hoards it and they let it build up and up and up and up and up, and one time they just explode and they let it all out, and like maybe they like send you a huge text saying like, hey, you're a bad person and I hate you and I've been feeling like this for a while now. Like, why didn't we talk about this before you hated me? Do you see where I'm going? You know, like, I feel like these things, they're so simple, and yet nobody really stops to think about them. Let me get my man Epitaph up in here. And so I want to be able to meet people through natural means. I live in whatever Florida. I live in Orlando, and it kind of sucks. No, it doesn't kind of suck. It really sucks because it's a very car-dependent city. Obviously, all we have are 12-lane superhighways. And so you can't really go anywhere without a car or Uber, and there's no hangout spots that don't cost money. And even if you go to like the park or something, it's still going to cost money because gas money. And if you make a picnic, you have to do the things for the picnic. And I feel like there's no, even when you go to the movies, like the city where I'm from, it's the 5th biggest city in the world. The population of my state is more than the population of Poland. So, pretty big city, you know? And it's not that it's a flex, but it's because I was raised in that environment where it's just like, oh, you want to go to 12 museums in a day? Yeah, we got that for you. And also, you're a student, so you get half off all of the tickets for movies and museums and anything. Here, you only get like a 20% discount, like if you're 6 years old or 80. So I feel like in these cities that are bigger, they are more used to having a more prominent student life, and so they organize it around it better. In my city, they have discounts for students, for senior citizens, for public university teachers, and I don't remember what else. But I feel like that always encourages me of like, oh my god, I can go into a museum for half the price, or I can go to the movies for half the price, and it forces you to engage. It doesn't force you, but encourages you to engage in culture in a very meaningful way. And that's what I want for my future. I want to go to a big city that has all these pretentious things like freaking like indie bookstores with only independently published titles, or like independent cinemas where they only show old reruns of 35mm film. And I'm at the same time that I can't spend a day without fantasizing what my life is gonna look like in the future. That also makes me so afraid of, what if I move to the city and I hate it? What if I can't keep up with another country's culture, and, you know, I don't know, if it's too expensive and I can't keep up with it and I get lost again? What if living far away from a big city for 2 years messed me up for life? That's a very scary thought. It is a very scary thought. But I will not stop fantasizing, I guess. I want to go. Nothing in my life sounds more exciting than college. And hot take, I feel like people who are dreading college and they act like high school was the best thing that's ever happened to them, they're probably people who peaked in high school. And they're going to hold on to their little meaningless student association titles that ultimately only matter for getting into college. Of course, I haven't been to a college yet, but I don't think that people care about all that meaningless stuff they care in high school. So that's what I'm excited for. I feel like I can finally let go of all this frivolity, all this meaninglessness, all this noise, and find a place. The world is my oyster. My mom has always taught me to believe that. And I just want to make a video about this because, I don't know, maybe I'll look back on this in retrospect and be like, oh my god, everything is going so well. Or, oh, this sucks. You were so stupid for this. But thinking about my future is pretty much what gets me excited to live the now, I suppose. Because if I go to really bad places in the present, I won't live to see that future. And if it seems so shiny of like, no, things are gonna get so much better, you know, it makes me feel better. It's so stupid, but before I moved to the US, I had like an Amazon like list for things that I wanted in my dorm room. I did not buy a single thing from that list, but it helped me imagine. It helps me keep myself in the future of like, there's always hope. There's always, God forbid a girl be hopeful and whimsical. Okay, yeah, I don't know. It's a topic I'm excited about, even though it's pretty much just about me. Yeah. Things are gonna get better, even though the state of things in such a big worldly scale seems so bad right now. We can focus on the little things, because when you focus on the little things, you can do more to help the outside things. If I focus more on, doing the things that make me happy, being kind makes me feel good better. I look forward to having the opportunity to express myself politically more loudly than I can do right now as a Latina living in the United States, and surrounded by conservatives who won't understand a single thing I say. I'm excited for being able to expand my knowledge so I can help people. Yeah, I sound insane. This is my guy, Epitafio. It means epitaph, and he's named after a Brazilian song called Epitafio, and it's pretty good. O acaso vai me amanhecer enquanto eu andar distraído. That's the song. Okay, bye.